Right, morning all. Just a quick video for those of you that might be setting up today and getting yourselves sorted, and looking initially at getting your Unity package into either a new file in Unity or one that you may be already working on at home. All right, so anyone that's exported any stuff out from Unity as in the form of a package, this is for you. So it won't be very long. It's just going to go through the different elements that you need to do for that. All right. So if I go to here, so you can just see my desktop here, and I've got this file here, which is my Unity package, which I exported from my machine at college. All right, you will maybe have something similar. It might have the Unity logo. It might just be .unity package. Either should be fine. It doesn't really matter. All right. What you'll need to do is open up your Unity file. So this is one that kind of is halfway stage at the compared to the one that I've got from college. So I'm going to update this one. Now what you can do is you can either update one that you've already been working on that's got similar files in there, or you can do it on a brand new file. So if you've not done it at home before, the easiest thing to do, into Unity, make up a new project, load it up as normal, make sure you know where you're saving it, and then you'll do exactly the same process, except you'll just kind of bring everything in one go. I'm going to show you what happens when you only bring parts of something in, when Unity's doing the clever thing and seeing what's already there. Alright, so exactly the same place. So if you remember, you would have gone from assets and you would have exported the package before. This time we're importing the package, and we're going to go custom package, and it will come up with a browser where we need to go and find our package. So I've just put mine on my desktop, so it's nice and easy to find, and click open. All right, now this may take a little bit of time for me, so mainly because it's just a big file, and it's got lots of different things in it. So it will decompress, and then it's going to open up into a little window on the left hand side, so that you can see where it is. If it takes too long, then I'll trim the video down so that we're not kind of just staring at each other for however long. All right. But what you might need to just be wary of, a couple of things just to keep an eye on, is that when you're importing stuff, if you've designed or created anything in the sample scene that Unity defaults to when you first open it up, then you might just be want to be wary that you're not going to copy over anything in scenes that are in items that are in that sample scene, or indeed in scenes that might be labelled the same. Doesn't often happen, but it can happen. So just be careful that you're labelling things up right, and that you're working through them correctly in terms of naming conventions, and not just leaving things like as Untitled 1 or anything like that. Make sure that you're labelling things up nicely. The other thing is that because you're bringing it into a new Unity file, essentially, the build settings won't be set. So if you've done anything where you're transitioning from one scene to another, and you've gone through and you've set it in your build settings, and you're either jumping from kind of level to level from the numbers that appear in there, or if you're jumping from the names of the from the scenes, then you'll still need to make sure that you populate that in the top when it comes up, okay, in file and build settings, so that you know that you've set it right. The other thing that you might need to be wary of is any input settings that you've done. So if you've changed any inputs, so for instance, when we did the pause screen, we went in and we added an input, and we put a command in there under, I put it under the P key on your keyboard. So you might have something like that you need to be wary of. So just things that are in the file or local to your machine, you'll just need to go back and set up. You won't need to do anything with the scripts or anything like that. As long as you're doing it the same as how it appears in the script, it will be absolutely fine. Okay. Right, I'm just going to pause this so that we can catch up, and we'll magically come back to when this is done. Right, okay, we're back. Sorry about that. So, by the magic of video editing, you haven't missed anything. But what you can see now is that you've got this little window that comes up. Now, the thing to spot on mine is that not all of these boxes are ticked. All right, so it's seeing everything that's in the package. That's absolutely fine, but it's only going to bring in the scenes that it can't see, or the items that it can't see that already exist in my package. So for those of you that have been working across maybe two different Unity files and you're combining them together, then this will be kind of what you see. For those of you that are bringing it into a brand new file, then all of these boxes will be ticked. So everything here will be ticked. So you'll import everything. Okay. So most of mine is in here, but there are a few kind of key elements in here. Let's try and find some now. Now I've said that. Okay, so that's perfect. So look, level 2 on there. So I started a new level, playing around with some just some mapping out. So there's not much in it, but it's a new level that I didn't want to have to kind of go back and recreate again because it took a little bit of a while to get going. So all of that's going to come in new, and it should just sit in nicely alongside everything that's already there, and it should see all the different bits and not overwrite. So it shouldn't take too long. So if we import that, you'll see that it kind of whizzes through. It's right in the package items, and we'll hopefully just drop in, and we'll see if we can see that level 2, so that you've got an idea of what you're looking at. All right, so it shouldn't take too long. If it's adding new stuff. If it's the first time you've done it and you've got a lot of files, then it will take a while. Okay, so don't worry, it is doing kind of what it needs to be doing, but it will kind of take a little while to go. And obviously, depending on how fast your machine is, depending on how your setup is at home, then that will have an effect on everything as well. One thing I would say is just watch your versions of Unity as well. So if you've got a different version at home to what we've been using at college, then that might just be something that you need to watch. All right, it's just asked me to reload the scene because it can see that there's maybe some items in the scene that have come in since the package has been updated. So that's absolutely fine. Just reload the scene and it will come back in. And I think it was James. Possibly, I'm not sure, I can't remember. We were just kind of playing around and testing something out with his model there, and you can see that it's now kind of this scene has got that model in, so it's sitting there. And if we go to my project settings and into assets so that we can see everything, there's level 2. So hopefully, fingers crossed, as we jump to level 2, yeah, there you go. So I was just mapping out some different bits and pieces, putting in some assets. I've got a little enemy wandering around on a plane up there, and there's my character down here. So it's brought in all of the new stuff that I need. I've now got it all kind of set up at home, as well as having it on my machine from college. Okay, so that's how you update your Unity files through a package. Things that I said before to watch out for, build settings is here. So you can see I've got no scenes populated in there. So if I've got any links that are jumping between my scenes, then I need to make sure that I populate those. So I can add the open one, and bizarrely it's called door test because it was based on that first one, and then I think it's main menu I've got in there as well. All right, so I might need to play around with the order a little bit so that they go in the right order. Okay, and then that's set up. All right, I've just realised I've done all of that and you couldn't see it because it was on the other window. I'm just going to do it again because I don't want to pause the video. All right, so file, build settings. No, indeed, you couldn't see it. Apologies. There it is. All right, so before this was empty. Okay, and you can add open scenes and then you can drag and drop the other scenes just like I did as I was explaining it, but you couldn't see it, but now you can. All right, so that's build settings. The other one I said about was the project settings. So edit, project settings. I'll remember this time, so I'll just drag that over here. All right, and remember when we looked at inputs, it's in there. So down here, you may not have the pause function. So I've got it on mine because I practiced it here before I did it with you guys at college. But it might be that you don't have all of the functions under your input. So that's another thing just to keep an eye on. If something isn't working and it has been working at college, that's another thing to watch. All right. Keep an eye on your console as well. I know those two are just kind of erroneous things that I don't need to worry about. But when you play it through for the first time, you might just need to make sure you're not getting anything weird and wonderful. We'll just play mine to see if it works. There we go. So you've got a few things in there and my character's moving. I've got kind of most bits going on there. There's a key in here, so we'll just see if it picks it up. Yeah, you can see, I mean, my display needs to be sorted because my screen is a slightly different size at home to what it is at college. But yeah, we're working. We've got everything we need to go. All right. So that's how you update your package from being at college into a system that you might have at home. All right, I hope that helps. I shall upload another one in a little while. And we'll start doing some other Unity stuff as we go. Okay, keep an eye out for Chris's email and video about your assignment. You've got a deadline for the 30th of March, okay, for the Unit 5 work. But he's got videos up on his channel and emails out to you covering all of that. So make sure you're checking your emails and going through there. All right, lovely. I shall see you later.